Welcome everyone to another episode of What's in the Box. I am your host GQ. Before we get started, I want to give you guys an opportunity to subscribe. Hit the notification bell, like the video. Once you're done with the video, leave some comments. Also, think about going over to culturejunkies.net, hitting up our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter. We would love that. Appreciate you guys' support. So for today's episode, we are going to be looking at one of the mini systems. This time around, we've got the Sega Genesis Mini. Of course, Sega Genesis by Sega. This thing came out not too long ago, last year actually. But this little piece of awesomeness represents the 30th anniversary of the Sega Genesis, also known as the Mega Drive in other territories such as Japan and of course Europe. So we're going to go ahead and unbox this thing. Also picked up an extra 6-button controller because this thing comes with the 3-button controllers, and hilariously enough, Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition is included in this thing, and Street Fighter 2 was a 6-button game. So hitting start to switch between punches and kicks is not really my thing. But let's go ahead and open this thing up and see what we got in the box here. Now, right off the bat, very important. This one includes one of the USB AC adapters, something that the other systems, the PlayStation Classic, for example, did not include. You actually had to buy a separate one. Sony, you guys kind of suck for that one. But this one actually does come with a USB AC adapter, which is awesome. Definitely needed. Of course, a USB cord to connect to that AC power plug there. I'm going ahead and put that on the table. Let's see, what else do we have in here? Comes with an HDMI cord, which of course is a great thing to have. I've got so many of those laying around now, but at the same time, it comes with what you need to hook it up to your TV. Of course, the Sega Genesis Mini manual. Again, it's how hard is it to hook up? You just need a TV with an HDMI connection and some power. But for those that like instructions, need instructions, this is for you. And unlike the original NES Classic, this little bundle of joy comes with not one, but 2 controllers, which is awesome. It's very, very much needed in this day and age. Thankfully, Nintendo corrected that with their Super Nintendo Mini when they released the SNES Classic. It was bundled with 2 controllers, of course, a little bit more money. But these are full-size original Genesis pads. Of course, you got your Sega Genesis logo right there. The I can't even really call it a thumbstick. The D-pad or control pad feels pretty good, kind of spongy. Of course, you got your trigger buttons here, A, B, C. Start button right there. So that's good on that construction. The controllers are nice. For the system itself, of course, obviously it's a mini, so very, very small by comparison to the original Genesis itself. They have done an amazing recreation of the original Genesis system itself, a system that I owned at one point years and years ago. Wow, they even have sliding, even has a sliding volume here for the headphone jack. There is no actual real headphone jack in place, and that's fine. Who's gonna really be hooking headphones up to this thing? And of course, USB ports in place of the original Atari style controller connectors. The little controller slot actually opens. Can't really put a real cartridge in there, but that's fine. Of course, you got your HDMI port out and your DC in for your power. Of course, you got to put the HDMI logo on the back anytime you have an HDMI device. But yeah, so obviously I'm going to get this thing hooked up and play some of the games on it. So that's the Genesis Mini. I'm gonna go ahead and open, since I'm here and I've made a little bit of a mess on this table, I'm gonna go ahead and open the Genesis 6-button controller by Retrobit. So, because again, like I said, you don't want to be playing Street Fighter with just a 3-button controller. That's not civilized by any stretch of the imagination. Go ahead and get that little bit of sticker off of there. All right, let's get this thing opened up. All right. Of course, it's like the other one, instructions. Again, it's a controller. How hard can it be to use or to hook up? So yeah, this is the 6-button controller for the Genesis Mini there. Obviously, you can see the pad, the original controller is quite a bit smaller than the larger OG Genesis controller, which is fine. I mean, again, you just need it for the 6-button functionality. X, Y, Z, A, B, C buttons. Feels pretty good overall. Start button's nice. D-pad itself is a little bit, yeah, pretty spongy D-pad, not too bad. So again, for What's in the Box, I am your host, GQ. Make sure you go over to our Instagram, our Facebook, and our Twitter. Search Culture Junkies, you will definitely find us. Also consider supporting us on Patreon. We'd be very, very pleased. And you know, hey, pick the right tier, get your name in the credits, or get a straight up shout out from me in the show. Also, we have Culture Junkies Live that we do every single Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. You definitely want to check that out. The conversations on that show are hilarious. They're awesome. So again, for What's in the Box, I am GQ, and I'm gonna see you guys next time. If you're enjoying our content, please consider going to our Patreon and becoming a supporter. There are different tiers to select from, and we thank you for your support. Culture Junkies!